Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for watching this video. Now let's talk about jig trailers for bass. This is going to be a flipping, casting kind of video. You can still swim these jigs with these types of trailers on them, but I really have 3 trailers. This is going to be very cost efficient. You're not going to have to buy a bunch of different things. You can probably use what you already have in your tackle box and cover all your cold water situations, fall, springtime, whatever it may be, shallow bass fishing. So let's dive into my first trailer. Now, if I show up to a lake, I need to cover some water, or let's say I fished my whole practice, had a tough practice, and I just want to basically put one trailer in my hand and go looking for bass, it's going to be a Rage Menace. Now, a lot of companies make a very similar plastic to this trailer, so you don't necessarily have to use a Strike King Rage Menace. There's other companies, you may already have this or something that's similar to this. Give that a try before you start spending money. And this is very important that you throw this on a 1/2 ounce and heavier. You try putting this trailer on a 3/8, the jig just doesn't fall fast enough to really get the kicking action. So it's not a great trailer on those lighter jigs. I mean, if you're swimming them or something like that, yeah, it's gonna work great. But for flipping and casting, you really wanna go heavier with this trailer. So 1/2 ounce is a great size when I need to cover water. You know, if you've tried to fish a 3/8 ounce jig to cover water, the bait just isn't gonna fall quick enough. You know, you're gonna spend a lot of time just waiting for that jig to fall, and you're not gonna be covering enough water. So I really like this 1/2 ounce size when I'm on the prowl, looking for new areas. I can do a lot with this jig, you know, swim it, flip it, cast it. It's really all purpose for me. And this trailer is just a great all-purpose trailer. So let's say I do get a couple bites. Then I want to slow down in that area. I may have a good understanding on where the fish are coming from, where they're going, where they're going to be setting up. Now I just want to really maximize my area. That's when these type trailers, a Big Salty and a Super Chunk Junior, come in handy. Now, we'll start on the lower end of the spectrum. Now, this is going to be my deal when, let's say, the fishing's super tough and there's just not a whole lot of big fish. You know, the forage maybe on the lake may be small, and I just want a full-size jig that I can put 25-pound test and flip it around on my heavy action flipping stick, but I just want compact, small. This Super Chunk Junior is great for that. I like to thread this trailer up on the jig because I want that compact, small action. And that is going to be, you know, on a lot of lakes where not necessarily the fishing's just tough, just small forage, maybe not a great fishing day, things like that. Now, the Big Salty is going to play a lot for me in a lot of different situations. But the main thing I like about this bait is if I just really want to slow my bait down. Now, I talked about, you know, I found an area, I know there's fish in here, I have a whole cove or a whole pocket I just need to grind one bite out of. I'll just put this jig in every place I possibly can put it, and I know that Big Salty is just going to really slow it down. Now, this is a 5/8, but a Big Salty on a 3/8 is really a killer slow presentation. And this time of year, you want a slow falling jig. And it's not just because the water is cold, but anytime you're really fishing before and around the spawn, as slow as you can get your bait to fall is going to be the best way to do that. So if you're fishing around cover and wood and stuff, you may need to go up to a heavier size jig to get your bait to go through that cover and fall naturally, but you still want it to fall as slow as possible. So really you need a 3/8, a 1/2, and a 5/8 to get every scenario. These 3 trailers are the only 3 trailers, in my opinion, you need, but they really all have their time and place. And it might not just be, you know, wood. You might be fishing in current and you're fishing in 2 feet of water and you need something like this to just really flare up and just get the attention of a fish that maybe lives in really dirty water or something like that. So these trailers all have their purpose, but I really feel like you can do every bit of damage you want to do in the spring and the fall fishing shallow, casting, and flipping with these trailers. And don't be afraid to swim these. You know, back to this or this. If I'm getting, you know, a vibe that these fish want something moving in front of their face, I can go down a stretch of bank and flip my jig in there and swim it right back to the boat. And both of these trailers will do really well with that too. So these aren't one-dimensional trailers where you can only cast them and flip them. You can do a lot with these trailers. You do need all sizes of jigs though to really get these trailers to do what they're supposed to do as well. So again, guys, you probably have something similar in your tackle box. I think every company makes a chunk. Every company makes some smaller type chunk, and every company nowadays, it seems like, makes something like this too. So you don't necessarily have to buy these brands. That will hopefully save you some money. And then in the long run, you won't be looking all over the place, different tackle stores, online retailers and stuff the night before the tournament trying to find these. These are big box companies that are in most all retailers, and you can get those baits pretty readily available anywhere. So simple, but it is very effective. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I'll see you on the water.